You talked early on about you think that America is in need of a revival. Ronald Reagan said that back in 1979. He said, I believe this country hungers and thirsts for a spiritual revival. Obviously, we at the Family Leader, our mission is to inspire the church, to engage government for the advancement of God's kingdom and the strengthening of family. What role do you see the church having in shaping this culture and taking a stand against what we see is the forces of darkness and being that light?
Well, if you go back to Alexis de Tocqueville when he wrote Democracy in America, one of the things he thought was unique about America is you had all these important institutions that really gave life to American freedom. So yes, the government, whatever role it played, but then you had this, and chief among them were the churches. You go back to the American Revolution and the role that the churches played in us getting independence. So I think it's vital. I think there was not an accident that so many people on the left sought to close churches during COVID. I think that they did not want people going in. I mean, how do you say a church should be closed, but a strip club can be open? In Florida, I did an executive order saying churches are open, people can go. So I think the left views that as an impediment to their agenda. And I just think that our country's kind of on the mat, similar to like it was in the late 70s. I think the spirit has been beaten down. I think there's a lot of pessimism. And yes, having a leader come up and talk about the political vision is important, and Reagan did that. But that's not enough. I mean, you really do need, spiritual revival. You need people to understand that, you know what, there's a higher power here. And it's not just about our day-to-day. We're here. Our freedoms ultimately come from God.
I'm glad you brought up to Tocqueville, because his big deal was, it was America's pulpits being inflamed with the truth of God's word. That was its uniqueness. That was its mystique, basically, which gave us what we have today as America. And we tell churches all the time, we don't need you to be political. We don't need you to be Republican or Democrat or put a DeSantis sign. Maybe you'd want that, a DeSantis sign in your yard. We just need you to be biblical, and we need you to be culturally relevant. And if they do that, we think a lot of good things will take care of themselves.
Well, we need to have society rooted in truth. And part of the reason I don't like some of the nonsense the left's doing, I mean, if you're telling me that a man can get pregnant, that is not true, okay? And we can't have society rooted in things that are false. And so the truth will set us free. And I think ultimately it's the faith that's rooted in the ultimate truth.